welcome to today's Senior Living. I'm your host, Doug Foster, and let me tell you, it is raining here in D.C. I mean, can you imagine? And this is my conversation hour. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to have guests here and there and so forth, but I'm going to get into having conversations with real seniors. So if you're a senior out there, give me a call at 202-810-2663 so we can have a conversation about what's bothering you and some of the things that you have to deal with every day. A lot of people got stories they don't want to tell. I mean, my life is an open book. You can find me anywhere, anytime. I ain't got nothing to hide. Not at this life, okay? But anyway, we're going to start talking more. We're going to have more conversations. Uh, but you call us here at 202-810-2663, and the mic is open to you. I have a mic open to my lovely daughter, Latoya. Are you there?
Hey, Miss Toya, are you there?
I am here.
Well, welcome to today's Senior Living, my dear. And I wanted to, this is the conversation hour, so can we have a conversation, baby?
We absolutely, and good evening. Today's Senior Living podcast, as I said earlier, the tornado edition. We hope all
Yeah,
of our seniors are safe at home, not out there in the storm right now. And
yeah.
if you are outside, the only place you want to be is at the Mubadala City Open.
Where-
Mubadala City Open, the tennis tournament.
Oh, okay, okay. And where's that at?
And that is taking place at the Carter Barron. Venus Williams was supposed to be playing this evening. I'm not real sure what's going on up there, but I can tell you this. It's a time up there at the Carter Barron every year for the big tennis match that takes place annually during this time of the year.
Well, that's good to Latoya because they need to use that. And nothing goes on in Carter Barron. Back in the day, we used to be up at the Carter Barron and we had a ball all up there.
Well, let me say this. This tennis tournament takes place every year around this time. And a shout out to the owner, Mark Ein, who's also one of the owners of the Washington Commanders, for putting this magnificent tennis match on every single year. I mean, it's an extraordinary event. And it really shows how we truly are, as Mayor Bowser says, the sports capital. We really are the sports capital. And, people don't naturally think about D.C. and tennis, but when you see that Venus Williams is in town playing tennis, you got to give it a different level of respect for sure. And, I mean, people come from far and wide for this big tennis match. So we know people go to the U.S. Open, people go to Wimbledon, but let me tell you, the Mubadala, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I've heard so many different ways. The Mubadala or the Mubadala tennis tournament is a place to be every year for certain. And last night, our very own, as we like to say, our forever First Lady of Washington, D.C., Cora Masters Berry, was honored by Mark Ein, the U.S. Tennis Association, for her efforts with tennis. As we know, she 20 plus years ago had a vision for tennis. Let me just call it what it is, for black kids in this city, those over in Southeast who really didn't have that experience or that exposure. And she found this property. She had this vision. She raised the money herself. She had this center built, and then she gave it to the city.
Yep.
And over the course of over 20 years, she has turned out so many young people who have gone on to get tennis scholarships. She's taken them to the U.S. Open every year. Of course, she had Venus and Serena, who she helped raise, quite frankly, when she was living in California. And they come out to the tennis center every year. And she was honored for her efforts last night. So a big congratulations to Cora Masters Berry on her prestigious honor.
Yes.
And she would say she is a sexy senior citizen, and she was out there running around like she was half her age and had herself a good time while being honored.
And no
And she's getting
question.
ready to expand because of Mayor Bowser's efforts, expanding the tennis center beyond what it is currently.
Wow,
There's
but
a new phase.
that's a huge center, Latoya. I don't know what they got a lot of area back there that they can expand in, but that's a huge place already. I was
It
there.
absolutely is.
I was there for an event when both Venus and Serena Williams was there, and I'm gonna tell you the place was packed. Okay, so shout out to Coral Mastersbury because she deserved it. You know, she needs to get her roses now because, and uh, she was having a ball at the
Chickabordo
Mississippi. Yep,
at the
yep.
Key to the City
Ki-
presentation a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
she was having a ball there too. Okay,
Absolutely.
she's
Well, she
stepping
knows how
up.
to have a good time, and she also knows how to get things done. That's for sure.
Yep, yep. Sometimes she has to use the whip, but she knows how to use the whip. Okay, no,
Listen, take it from somebody who has had the whip handed to him. I
yes,
know this very well.
she knows how to take the whip, and that and the other
You
thing
couldn't have a
is,
better fighter on your team. That's
no
all I can say.
question
You couldn't have
about
a better
that.
fighter on your team for
No,
sure.
not if you
So
want to
what's
get.
going on with our seniors? What's the good word out
You
there
know,
with
you
our
tell
seniors?
our
I know you ain't
seniors.
looking for me to tell you. I'm not a senior. Hello?
Well, I mean, what do you see? What do you see? I'm concerned about where they are. You know, I'm concerned about what's happening to them with regards to their living and their living expenses. I'm
Well, I
concerned
think that's a
about their health
conversation that needs
care.
to be had. Absolutely. What are the top concerns of our
About our
seniors? Now, I did a little
seniors.
research on this, actually.
Yeah.
I did a little research on this. Do you want to name what you believe how Americans are thinking about aging? What do you think the top concerns are?
Yeah. Go ahead if you know.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to give them to
Because
you. I'm
we're
going to roll
having a
them off.
conversation. We're having a conversation. Okay. We're not.
Yes, it's a conversation about, and this isn't just, these aren't my stats. This is actually from Pew Research. The issues that are of top tier concern for our seniors is how things are going for older Americans as they age. What do younger adults think life will be like in their later years? That's me. I fall in that category right now. That's me. Are there aspects of aging that Americans think people can control? And what have we done or what would we consider doing to look younger than we are? So, some of the takeaways from the research that we found is that there's some perceptions of aging. That 49% of adults ages 65 and older say they are aging extremely or very well, which is great news.
Yeah, that's
By
true.
comparison, 30% of those younger than 65 expect to age similarly well. Okay? Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. Income and the aging experience. According to research, among adults ages 65 and older, experiences with getting older differ vastly by income. About 6 in 10 older adults in the upper income tier say they're aging extremely or very well, but this compares to 51% of those in the middle income tier, which is at 39%, and those in the lower income tier, even worse. Our older adults in the upper income tier are more likely to rate their physical and mental health highly. They're spending time pursuing hobbies, they're socializing with friends, they're out doing things, they're active in civic groups and interest clubs and so forth. But for those who do not have the resources, well, that picture looks a lot different. So that I think is something that we all have to start thinking more about. It also says that more than 4 in 10 adults under the age of 65, they aren't confident that they'll have enough income and assets to last through their retirement years, or that they won't be able to retire at all. And among those who are worried when they think about what their life will be like in their 70s and beyond, financial concerns are the most commonly cited reasons for this feeling. That money matters. People don't like to talk about money. People like to tiptoe around money, but the truth is that early in life, as a young adult, nothing could be more important than setting up your finances for your latter years. And I know you say it's so long away when you're like 18, 20 years old. You would be so surprised that, I remember how you all used to talk about, you'll know what it's like when you get here. The years go by really,
Yeah, it
really fast.
does. It does.
And at the rate of inflation, I would suggest to start having those conversations with young people about aging and money very, very early so they can begin to understand what money looks like, why it's important, the responsibility of it, and how to save and grow it. 401ks are very important. It is something that we must train our young adults to ensure that they are maxing out their 401ks,
Yeah.
all of their retirement programs that they have at their jobs. Don't leave any money on the table. Set it up where you're at 5% or whatever it is, and your employer is matching it. Do it. I don't care what you got to sacrifice now. Do it now, seriously, because the time goes by and you look up, and then you're right at that cusp of the age where you say, you know what? Okay, I got 10, 15 years left in this. What I'm gonna do? What we gonna do? You know? And that's a real thing. You have to think about, what does life look like as far as your housing? What does life look like as far as your ability to buy groceries, to pay for your prescriptions and medical needs? That is something we have to talk further about, Daddy.
Yeah. Well, Latoya, one thing that I've experienced, is that as I have grown in this city, I came from humble beginnings, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the humble beginnings that I came from doesn't spare the rod, okay? When you're down, okay? But I found my way out of that back in the day, okay? And I said I want to do something different. I want to be different. I want to make certain that I get out of this dungeon. And I did get out, but guess what? When I got out, I acted a fool. I was in my 20s and 30s, and if you're in your 20s and 30s and you're making some money, start saving. Don't do
That's
what
what
I
I'm trying to
did.
tell you.
Don't
You
do what
gotta
I
you
did.
gotta do it early, very
I
early.
I spent every dime, every quarter, every nickel,
Now
and
you gotta live too.
I know, but I didn't care about what it was. I never had anything, so now I got I got a chance, the opportunity. So when I was in the disco business and in the leisure entertainment business, between the ages of 30 and 45, it was all the way live for me. Okay, and I was making a lot of money. I was going and doing everything I wanted to do. I was jet setting, going here, going there,
Remember it
buying
well.
this, going there, and I never thought about any of that stuff. And it didn't dawn on me that, you're going to get to the age of 60 and 70 and 80, and you got to, it didn't dawn on me because everything that I did was so much fun. It was fun. And growing up in
So
D.C. being fun, I didn't even think about none of that stuff, okay? But now today, if I had to tell a young person, I'm going to tell them just what you said, okay? That
it's
plan
real
now,
talk. You have to
plan
plan,
now.
or you gotta really make a case for, okay, if you didn't do it, then you know that you gotta use that 10, 15 years, 20 years before the retirement age and say, you know what, I'm gonna make a big wealth sprint. Like, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do something that's gonna be so phenomenal that I'm going to make up for the years that I did not save and prepare, right? And I mean, you got to go out there with a vengeance, and it can be done. There are a lot of people who have that, and life changes too, right? Like you run up on some difficulty, you stop contributing the way you once were, if you're contributing at all, because you need the funds to pay your bills, to help your family, to do certain things. But there still is an opportunity to create wealth and to get your retirement back on track before you get to that age as well. It's just something you have to work a little bit. You got to work a little bit different. Um, I'm gonna just borrow a line from 50 Cent. He said, "Get rich or die trying." You really got to go out here and make the money, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, because if you don't do it while you can, you're not going to get a chance to do it. Society is not
So,
going to let you do that. So,
well, you got to go out here and put your best foot forward and go out here and really make some money. Then they also talked about some other things in this report, and I'll send it to you and George to take a look at. Something else that's a concern for us as well as we age, how we look. Nobody wants to look the age they are, including me.
I mean,
Nobody wants to look their age.
well, I mean, you can't do anything about the aging process, okay? But you got to do the best you can with what you got. So that's where I
Well, I
come
tell
from.
you what, look, one in
Now,
five
I see,
adults, one in five seniors are taking supplements to look younger. They're taking collagen, they're taking antioxidants, they're covering their gray hair. I know somebody that gets up and picks their gray hair out their chin almost every day. I
that,
ain't calling no names though, but
well,
that
don't,
happens. That's real too.
well, well,
Many are going to get cosmetic surgery.
well, I mean,
That's the thing.
that's a real issue. That's a real thing. I mean,
They're getting plastic surgery.
but you know what?
People enhancing their looks. That's what you see a lot of now.
Yep, I mean, but does it pay off in the long run? What have you
Um,
done? What have you done to affect your health going forward when you get 65 and 70 and go back and say, dang, I never should have got that butt lift. I should have never got all that stuff done to my eyes and my cheeks and all
what
of that
makes you think
stuff.
that's a 65-year-old that's getting butt lifts right now, right at
Oh.
this moment? Yeah, they might not have done it before. They might be doing it now.
They could, well, I mean, I can't attest to any of that, you
You know,
know.
it's plenty of seniors going to see Dr. Nip and Tuck. I know quite a few, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
you think so?
So, what's that?
I say, you think so? You think there's some 65-year-olds out there? Well, I do know one thing,
Put it to
Latoya.
the test. Ask.
I do know one thing. They are at the line that, look, there were 900 people at the National Capital Park and Planning at the party, at the line dance, okay?
Okay.
And these was all seniors, and this was during the day. This was like 12 to 1 or 2, and they was rocking it. And
Nice.
so seniors are getting out there, you know? But
You, you know, one of the seasoned citizens who doesn't let any grass grow under their feet, and I have to give it to her, is Virginia Ali. Ben's Chili
oh,
Bowl. Miss
yes,
Ali
she's
is
out there.
out
92,
everywhere.
93 years old, and
And
she's
she's
out
everywhere. She was at the
everywhere.
tennis tournament last night. She's everywhere. She really is everywhere. She was at the Rammies recently. Any type of big event that's taking place in the city, she is always there. And she's walking. She walks.
Yeah, she does. Everywhere she goes, she'll
She
be walking.
everywhere she goes.
And I
She
see her.
came to an event of mine a couple of years ago, and I mean, it was pouring buckets outside. And I looked up, and when she walked in, I like that fainted. Yeah,
I, I tell you,
she's outside.
yeah, and I tell you, she showed me some pictures one day of when she was the cashier at Industrial Bank, and I couldn't believe it. I say, and she then started telling me about, oh, that was the Lincoln Colonnade right there, and this is where we went here, and she showed me pictures where she was out dancing and kind. Mrs. Ali is the bomb ditty, okay?
She absolutely
She
is. And
is.
I mean, she is a great example of still at her business. She's still
Yep,
over there at Ben's Chili Bowl. She still goes through her books, her money every day.
yep,
She still goes out to big events. I mean, she is absolutely what you call goals. She is
yep.
goals for real. So
Yes,
when
she
you think
is.
about what do you want to be when you get 93, that's it right
That's
there.
it.
You want to
That's
be
it.
Virginia Ali, and you want to have a Vita Ali with you.
Every day.
There you
Every
go.
day. every day, every day. But I tell you what, Latoya, it's nothing like being healthy when you while you're getting old. Please watch your blood pressure and watch your sugar intake. I didn't pay no attention to that stuff. I didn't pay no attention to nothing. All I thought was life was a lot of fun growing up in D.C. That's all I thought. Let's have, and it was all about the next party. Okay, so
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. And my mother used to always say, she's like, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And that's the truth. Health
that's true.
is wealth. Health is wealth. But I will tell you this, when you have the right level of resources, oftentimes you can afford, the treatment, the foods, the different things that are necessary to make life a little bit easier, to eat a little healthier, and to do certain things that can make your aging process a bit different than those who don't. So health and wealth to me kind of walk hand in hand to a certain degree.
Well, that's what it is. It is what it is, baby. And
You
Sharon was
know, you
right.
you 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 know, I can't say that you need health is more important than wealth, but wealth can help to keep you healthier if you use it right, if you do it right. I guess that's what I really want to say.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people out there that don't worry about the wealth. They're more concerned now about their health. I mean, those people that are living on the Gold Coast, they are not concerned about anything. They're concerned about living and living well. Uh, they're taking care of themselves because they got the money to take care of themselves.
But that's my point. Wealth
Yeah.
and health can often walk hand in hand.
See,
When
but
you have resources to do certain things, that was what the Research was saying. Your income levels do matter, even as it relates to your health, where you live, where you're working out. If you're working out, your ability to go get certain treatments, it takes money. That's a fact. It
well,
just
it does.
does.
It does. But Latoya, I'm always concerned about the least, the last, and the lost. Those are the ones I'm concerned about. And I know what it's like out there. Okay, when you don't have enough to pay your rent, and you don't have enough to pay for your utilities, and you don't have enough to pay for uh, your transportation, and you have to decide whether you're going to buy your medication or pay your mortgage. I'm concerned about those people. Those are the
Well,
seniors I
we
want. Those are the seniors I want to contact. Those are the seniors I want here on this mic to tell me exactly what's going on out there. What are your fears about where we're going and what life, how you see life right now, and how you see life in terms of where we're going. Because there are going to be some dark days ahead, sweetie, and I don't know whether all my seniors, including myself, is going to land. What are we going to do?
Well,
They'll,
one thing I know is that we know how to survive.
yeah, we
That I
do.
do know. And oftentimes,
That's true.
sometimes it requires a little bit of downsizing. Sometimes
Hmm.
we have to make some really hard decisions. Maybe, in some cases, when the resources aren't there, the big house you once had purchased, maybe it's time to put that on the market and move into something smaller, move into an apartment, move into a condo, something.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. But so Latoya, I'm gonna tell you, I'm so happy to have you on my show. I'm looking for daughter number one to come on the show and talk to Daddy, or talk so we can talk about what she's been doing and how she's been planning. So you think you can help me do that?
Well, I lost you for a second. What was that again?
I said I want to make certain that at some point in time, I want to make certain that I got daughter number one on the show that can tell me about what she's planning to do and since she has
We
retired.
can't wait to have daughter number one on the show.
I'm
Calling
looking.
out Lisa Foster Miles because
I,
she is a junior senior, and we want to know what life is like for her after retirement, what that all looks like,
well, she's living her best
and
life
how
right
she's
now.
planning.
Yep, yep. I want to have her on the show so we can talk about all the great and wonderful things that she's been doing. But you know, she's in and out of town every weekend or every other weekend. She's back and forth from Washington to Atlanta to North Carolina, South Carolina. You know,
And she, you know what we should do? We should have her do like a Thelma and Louise. She should call in while she's out there
that's
on the
exactly.
road.
And tell me what she.
Yeah.
Right, she
And say
should.
what she's doing right at that time.
Yep, yep. It ain't gonna take nothing to call in at 202-810-2663. You know, so it's gonna be. It's when I like to have both of y'all on at the same time, but I don't know. We're gonna work out how we can get two people on at one time. So George is
Now
working
we're
on it.
gonna tag team it. We're gonna have Lisa Foster Miles call in and talk about what it's like to be retired, a junior senior, what her goals are and her focus is now that she
Yep,
is retired,
yep.
how she's planning for the future. What does the future look like now that she's come out before what you would call a normal, to me, a normal age where people do retire? What is her plan? Why she did it? Does she have concern? Is she fearful? We want to talk to her about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well,
And
Latoya,
while
thank.
she's out here jet setting, we want to hear about that too. So we
Yeah,
can't wait for
we want
Lisa.
it. We want it
For Lisa,
all,
daughter number one, come on, come on, come on, come on, girl.
girl. We want it. We're gonna call her out. Okay.
All right, sound like a good
Again,
plan.
again,
All right,
thank you, Latoya, for being on today's Senior Living and giving your
y'all have a good
perspective.
one. Bye, George. Bye, Daddy.
All right,
Take
baby.
care.
Well, that's one of the that's one of my daughters. Okay, and she's a tower of strength. George, do we got any callers calling in?
We had a couple during Miss Toya's segment. Hopefully, we'll get them to call back soon.
Can you call them back?
I could try to work it out, see what we could do.
Okay. Well, this is today's Senior Living, and if you got some comments about where you think you're going to be when you get a certain age, okay, um, you're going to let us know, okay? Because life ain't fair, okay? Life ain't fair. Some of us get a chance to make it, and some of us don't. And those of us who gets a chance to make it, we got to find a way to reach back and grab your and pull somebody up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's not being done enough. Nobody's reaching back and saying that they need some help. You know what I'm saying? But this, you can't live in this world by yourself. Everybody needs a helping hand. Everybody needs some help. You know, so let's see what we can do to get somebody to help us along the way. But of course, I said that that I think that we got a caller on the line.
Yes, we do.
Well, who we got? Deidre Brown on the line.
Good evening. How are you, Doug?
I am fine, Mrs. Brown. Welcome to today's Senior Living. As always, we're all so happy to have you here, okay? But
Yes.
we've been talking about seniors and what life is going to look like for them in this new era and this new administration and all the things that are going on in our lives and things that we need to start doing that we have not been doing. But again, welcome to today's Senior Living podcast, not broadcast on that we do on WOL 1450 AM. We're going to be doing that also, so y'all can tune in on Saturdays from 2 until 4 and catch us here. And Mrs. Brown might be on there with me, okay? But Deidre, I want to find out from you, what's the impact of this election that just passed on our senior community? Can you address that a little bit for me?
I think what our seniors in the District of Columbia really need to be aware of is the movement of placing what is perceived to be a new set of policy folks, in particular those backed by organizations like Democratic Socialists, free DC and greater Washington, looking at what their policies really are beyond the surface. Because I really feel like some of the policies, they sound good, but there's deep concern that the collateral damage from that is going to be longtime DC residents, in particular when it comes to their housing policies. So those are some things we really need to be keeping an eye on.
Well, what are some of the housing issues that we need to keep our eyes on specifically? Is it zoning? Is it taxes?
It's both. So let's talk about taxes first. There is, as we know, there's the huge RFK project that's going to be going on. Before we even get to the portion of the project where they're going to supposedly build a certain number of affordable units, before that they're going to put up the stadium. They're talking about in the neighborhoods around there putting up luxury townhomes, $2 and $3 million townhomes.
What?
So when you have that go up in your neighborhood, it increases your assessed value on your property. And what happens when that happens is your tax bill goes up, right? We already going to see a tax increase on those homes. These are many of those neighborhoods are neighborhoods that have been occupied by long-time D.C. residents, many of which have paid their homes off. So you're already going to see a tax bump just by the fact that you now live next to a brand-new stadium. But if they also start building luxury around there, that is also how your taxes are going to become unaffordable. So these are things we really need to be keeping an eye on. As far as zoning, every so many years, D.C. does what's called a comprehensive plan, and it's almost time for that now. So Office of Planning and Zoning are putting out the proposals, where some of their proposals that they're planning are things like what they're calling gentle density, which means they want to build more on a single family lot. They want to be able to build up to 3 units or 6 units by right. They want to eliminate the Height Act, right? They want to make it so that they can build taller skyscrapers. And why that matters is because there is this, they're having this messaging where they're telling you that if they build more, the things become more affordable. Here's the problem with that. We've seen, just think about this. Down at the Wharf, we've seen brand new units go up. We've seen brand new units go up across the city. It's not what you're building. It's not what you're building is luxury instead of building affordable or mid-range. And if you keep building more luxury, all you're doing, once again, is raising taxes, also making it unaffordable for the people who are already here to be able to stay here. So it's not about more, it's about what you're building.
So you're saying that it's making it a lot more expensive for people who living in wards of 5, 7, 9, and 4. It's driving them. That's where your middle class is. Okay.
Right.
So what you're saying, those luxury homes is driving up the tax base, even in those communities, and if that's what you're saying.
Exactly. When they're building luxury like that, is building up your driving up your tax base, which is going to push our longtime residents out. When they start saying that they want to build, do away with single family zoning and want to make it multi-unit by right, this is also going to drive up and change your neighborhood, right? The characters of your neighborhood. And so what's happening is that a lot of this is happening at the council level. We're going to see how much of this also is going to happen, of course, with the new mayor. But what I'm encouraging people to do is stay vigilant and hold these council members, especially these new ones, accountable to you and to your neighborhood. And another way you can do that is, just so you know, that in November, all 354 ANC commissioner seats will be up for election. And so I'm working with a group now where we're trying to make sure that these ANCs are staffed, or the people who win are people who understand what it means to be a Washingtonian and what it really means to live in these in this city for generations. It doesn't mean we don't want change. We just don't want to be pushed out. And so be involved with your ANCs, figure out who your commissioners are, go to the meetings, and hold them accountable.
Well, they've been pushing us out, Ms. Brown, for the last, I think, 6 to 8 years. I mean, with the new people coming in, the gentrification element has been coming in, and when they come in, I'm gonna tell you, these communities are changing fast, very fast, and they've been coming in for the last 6 to 8 years, in my opinion, and our tax rates are just exploding,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know. But how do you see our seniors faring with regards to not only in the area of real estate, but transportation and those, and can you elaborate on the issue around the escalation of energy costs and the escalation of water and sewer and the escalation of the cost of food here in our community for seniors, because seniors can't afford to go to different Harry Teeter's, for an example, okay? Whole Foods, we can't afford to go to those stores. So how you think that look towards seniors now? How you think they're regulating? How you think they're making it?
And this exactly goes back to making sure that our neighborhoods are there to serve us. When we have other demographics coming into our neighborhood, pushing up the once again the property values, what happens is places like Harris Teeter and Whole Foods, when their marketing department goes in and surveys the neighborhood, that's how they determine what grocery store goes there. Instead of us getting a Safeway or a Giant or Aldi's, places where we can actually go and feed out families, we're getting these boutique grocery stores, and that doesn't service us. And that's another reason why we really, once again, need to stay diligent. When we start talking about energy costs, here's what's going on with that. We have the Public Service Commission that has 3 commissioners that sit on it. They're appointed by the mayor. 2 of their seats were up last spring. There were many, many organizations who petitioned the council not to reseat these 2 commissioners, to, one, allow for the new mayor to seat, but also to not seat them at all, like to get 2 new people. The council at one point looked like it was going to hold the commissions, but then they didn't. Right before they left for summer break, they did confirm these commissioners. Here's the controversy. The commissioners are saying that these commissioners oversee Pepco and gas, not water.
Right,
WASA is different.
Right, WASA is different, right.
And they're arguing that it's not their fault that the rates are going up, that it has to do with the data centers and it has to do with the electrical grid. Okay, that is true, but 2 things can be true at once. The other problem is that they are the last line of defense for district residents, and they're not fighting hard enough to question why are these rates going up, how can we keep the rates down, holding up the rate increases, and that's what we were saying they weren't doing their jobs. We're not saying that they're the blame for data centers. I mean, that's beyond them, but they're the ones who are supposed to be fighting for us. And so until someone steps up and does something dramatic about these rates that keep going up, we're going to continue to see the rates go up. And I understand that Pepco and gas are offering some types of payment plans for people, but here's the thing. At some point, that's going to run out. At some point, you're going to be so deep in debt with them
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
you're never going to crawl out.
You're right. What they're doing is that when you go in and you ask for a reduced payment arrangement, or you get on the budget plan. That's the budget plan. When you get on the budget plan, they've got when you get on the budget plan, you're going to be paying a certain amount every month. Okay. Now, if you violate what's on the budget plan, then they are either going to do one or two things: either turn your electric off, or they're going to escalate the cost of the budget plan. And when they get to the escalation of the budget plan, then they're going to finance that money over a period of 12 months. And so you're going to probably be paying your regular bill, and then whatever they finance that was in your budget plan. So if your budget plan had $1,200, they'll divide that by 12, and you're going to be paying an additional $100 a month for your utilities. So they are doing a whole lot of things over Pepco. I don't think it's fair, because you don't know what interest rates that they're financing that at. Okay, they just give you a deal and say this is what it is. Okay. So
Right, and people take it because they want to keep their life.
they don't have no choice. They don't have no
Right.
choice. And they're in the, what they mean is that they're in the finance business. Okay, they're in the business of financing budget plans. Okay, that's what they're essentially doing. They're financing your budget plan. So when you say I want a budget plan, oh, we'll give it to you, but here's what it's going to cost you. Okay, so you're going to reduce your utilities now, but if you get behind and you don't make that, we're going to then we're going to come in, discontinue your lights or your gas, and then you got to make an arrangement, a payment arrangement. And if you make a payment arrangement, that payment arrangement is being financed, and you don't know what how much they're financing it for, or what interest rates that they're financing it for, until only they know. Okay, but they don't tell you. Poor people get shafted all kinds of ways. Okay, ain't no justice. Okay, there is no justice. But we allow our council members to enter into these agreements and so forth, and we don't hold them accountable. We have no idea about how, and that's really where we need to be putting pressure on our council people. We got new council people that don't look like us, don't sound like us, and ain't concerned about us. Am I right about it?
I have to agree with you there, Doug. Yes.
They do not.
I wanted to say one last thing about the transportation you asked about. So, if once again, a lot of this transportation things, so we have two things. We have the bike lanes, and then we have the better bus system. Let's talk about the bike lanes. When you saw those bike lanes go up, a lot of that came before your ANC commissioners. And some of these ANCs did not go back to their constituents and ask them did they want it. Instead, they wrote approval letters or resolutions for it. And then, of course, DDOT says we have to give the ANC commissioners great weight. So this is another reason why you need to get involved with your ANC. Right now, I can't remember how many months ago again, WMATA rolled out a better bus where they changed the routes. They reduced certain routes, eliminated some routes.
Yeah,
and many of our seniors were upset about it.
Absolutely, because they don't. The routes that they're running now are not the routes that our seniors can get on the bus when they walk out their door. They have to walk now a block. What happens when you are in a wheelchair or something, or you on crutches, or how do you walk a block, a half a mile to get up to the bus, to get on the bus? And the bus, in many instances, you got to wait 20 minutes for it to come. So come on.
Exactly. And what I'm encouraging people to do there is you can complain to WMATA, but the person you really should be complaining to is two people. One should be Councilmember Charles Allen, because he has oversight over WMATA.
Come on.
And then your council member, whatever ward you live in, both of them should be hearing from our seniors on a regular basis about how they need to fix the bus system. It is not better. Just because they use the word better in the name does not make it better. And so we need to hear more from our constituents, pressing, once again, these people we have elected to represent us to actually represent us.
Sad, 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 sad. So right now, all we got to do now is to wait until November to see what's going to happen. Am I right?
Yes, yes. So the election will be in November. Once again, get involved, stay involved, especially right now with the ANC seats that are open.
Well, they can stay involved by contacting us here at today's senior living, and we can get the word out to the community, especially between the podcast here on Tuesday and the radio show on Saturday. We can get the word out, but you got to call in. You got to call in and let us know who you are, okay? And that telephone number is 202-810-2663. But again, we thank you very much, Mrs. Brown, for being on today's Senior Living, and hope that you come back again another time. Promise me you're going to come back.
I definitely will. Looking forward to it.
Well, thank you very much. And I will probably give you a call tomorrow. You know that, right? And we'll be talking politics. Well, okay, well, thank you, Mrs. Brown. This is today's Senior Living, but you can call us here at 202-810-2663. George, what do you think about what's going on with our politicians here in D.C.?
It's a very wide landscape of things, Mr. Doug. Very wide landscape of things. And, I'm not a D.C. resident, really. I live out on the outskirts in Maryland, but whoo-wee.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's all you can say is woo-wee.
Let's see what happens, man, when this new administration comes around. I mean, it's going to be a new day, a new season, a new era for Washington, D.C. Mayor Bowser has made her mark, in this city these last, 12 years? 13 years?
12 years. 12 years.
And I'm telling you.
She done put in her time,
She sure has. And she's made some significant strides, made some good differences, some good, some not so good, but all for the betterment of the city, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens come this new year.
But George, nonetheless, no matter what, whoever's in office, it ain't gonna matter until we have some way of getting our council people to respond to the constituency needs. Okay, where do you live in? Calvert County?
I live in Prince George's County.
Oh, you live in PG.
Yes, sir. PG County.
Listen, if you're listening to today's Senior Living, I want you to understand one thing. When I speak to D.C., I'm basically speaking to the DMV, because basically
That's right.
everybody who was ever born in D.C. is now in PG, in Montgomery County, Calvert County, and Anne Arundel County.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm talking to a wide audience. I mean, we got an audience here in D.C. I wouldn't believe we got over 2 million black folks living just here. I mean, I'm maybe I might be cutting it short. I better not say how many millions. At least 7 million black folks living in the DMV, at least, if not more.
Yeah.
So this is a big area, y'all. Okay, when you come here to D.C., I mean, you say, well, we're going to be in D.C. Well, guess what? There's lots going on in Ward 9, and that's PG, because everybody that was born here is there.
Is that okay? Yeah, I'm sure it's in the million range, man.
Yeah, it is in the millions. It's about 7 million people. But this is the place to be, though, George. I mean, so everybody wants to be in D.C., you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why, I don't know, but I mean, because the cost of living here is astronomical,
It is.
you know? I mean, it's a struggle, you know, day to day. And people think that that when you're here in D.C., you're living within wealth. I mean, no, there's a lot of poor people here, man, you know? A lot of poor people. And some, you know, some a little better off than others, you know. But I still don't believe that a lot of our seniors, especially, are being treated fairly. But you know, we got to think about our seniors with regards to the senior health care market. How is our seniors being treated at the hospitals? Man, have you ever been to the Washington Hospital Center, George?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been there a couple times actually.
Okay, what do you think what do you think the service was like for you when you and how do you see the seniors and when they went into Washington Hospital Center? What do you think about that?
Man, my last visit over there probably was about 3 or 4 months ago. And from the moment you enter into the patient building, I mean, they are there out front, sitting around. I mean, they are at the entrance waiting on their Metro Access rides or,
Yeah.
you know, waiting on their public,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
transportation to
public
take them where they need
yeah.
to go.
And
You
look
know,
how far they have to walk from the bus stop to the building.
to the building. Absolutely. Absolutely.
People
you know.
in wheelchairs, people on crutches, people with canes, you know,
Yep.
trying to make that walk so they can go and see the doctor, or they got a medical reason. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad to see my people being treated this way, though. You know, unfortunately. But nobody's saying anything about it, George. Nobody but me.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, nobody is advocating for anything, George, about how our seniors are being treated.
And you know, back in the day when I was growing up, you know, I used to see a lot of things happening around the city, you know, for our seniors, especially pre-pandemic time. You know, the church that I attend here in the city, Shiloh Baptist Church, every Tuesday they would have a gathering in the evening for seniors, sponsored by Sibley, and Sibley would do. Like a memory care. I think that's what we called it, memory care, you know, for seniors. And so a lot of seniors would come and they would give information on different things, just a place for seniors to share what they're going through, those type of things, to receive help and how they can receive help, you know, all those kinds of things. And so there were a lot of programs that were going that we don't really see anymore, you know, post pandemic. And it's not good, in my opinion. I think now that we have been forced inside for all of those years, folks have just kind of brushed those kinds of things off of their shoulder, looking for all of these new age things, you know, and I think that we could do better in our communities, even if it's just something as simple as checking on your neighbor.
Yeah,
You know, and just
And
seeing
see
if
how-
you know that your neighbor's a senior, you know, knock on that door and
Knock
say,
on the door
hey,
and
can
see
I
how-
take your trash to the curb
Yeah,
today?
yeah,
Or,
no.
you know, do you need anything? I'm running to the grocery store. We're not as friendly as we
No, we're
used to
not.
be, you
No,
know.
we're not.
And this day and age in the society that we're living in now, folks have developed this hard shell around them that makes folks seem so unapproachable, you know.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, even on the flip side, maybe our seniors just don't feel comfortable, you know, in the society that we're living in now, you know,
That's what it seems
because
like.
of what all the things that are placed against them, you
Yep.
know, the structures that are in place, you know, especially with our leadership in the city, you know, and around the DMV, all of these things that are in place, you know, do not help our seniors at all. They
Absolutely don't.
They just don't.
And caretakers are not, I mean, they do just the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
Yeah.
The caretakers in this city right now is saying, we are tired,
Yeah.
okay? I mean, because caretaking is a labor of love, okay? And a lot of, these caretakers don't have that kind of love
Right.
because they were burnt out as a result of pre-pandemic, okay? And they're saying, look, I'm out. As soon as I can get out, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
And so they're running for the hills,
Yep.
okay? So
Yep.
it's rough out there for seniors, you guys, okay? I mean, when you go to the doctor, and a lot of times you go into a doctor's office, they disrespect you like what are you doing here? You know, I feel sorry every time I go into my primary care physician's office. I feel sorry for those who coming in wheelchairs and crutches and so forth.
Yeah.
They act like they're doing these people a favor, and these people are paying them royally, okay, through their insurance
Yep.
and out of their pockets.
Who's also robbing them blind too, you know, that they don't even realize, you know.
Absolutely.
And some of these premiums that folks have to pay for all of
Oh
these
my
different
God.
things that are happening, it's absolutely astronomical in my opinion. You know, and even, you know, for myself, you know, I'm scheduled to have a small procedure done on my back in a couple weeks, and the amount of work that I have to do to prep for that procedure
Yep.
is just crazy, you know. I can only imagine
What it's like for a
what it's
senior.
like for a senior. The fact that you have to, some seniors can't afford to pay for a lot of their medicine that they have to take, you know, on a daily basis, that they have to pay out of pocket for, that some insurance doesn't cover, you know, all of those different kinds of things that they have to endure, you know, that the system does not set them up for.
Yeah, you're right, George. Well, George, I'll tell you one thing. We can't solve all the community ills. We can't solve all of the, but we can start solving some of the things that we can solve, okay? We got a caller. Oh, let's put a caller on.
We sure do. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
We're good.
I hope you've been listening to our program about seniors. Are you a senior?
Yes, I am.
And what's
And
on-
when you started talking about the doctors, I said, let me call right now. Because I had, by the way, my name is Belinda. I had the most unwelcoming visit with a doctor for the first time. I went in to talk to this doctor about female problems.
Okay.
And the doctor, you know, she asked me why was I there, and I took in well, you know, I was referred by Dr. X, and then the other doctor that referred me. So I'm coming to try to get some answers why I'm going through this particular moment of my life.
Right.
Well, first thing she started to ask me, did they give you such and such prescription?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I'm not on any prescriptions. Well, if you're going to have this procedure, I'm going to need you to take 2 prescriptions. So my first question was, what is the effects of these prescriptions?
Yeah, and the medication. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I said, do they cause cancer? This doctor looked at me dead in my face and told me, no, they do not cause cancer. Because we have cancer patients that we give this prescription to, and this is a prescription that is not a cause of any type of cancer. So I get home, I get the prescriptions, I get home, and I read up on them. And the first thing the state said, it will cause ovarian cancer.
Wow.
So I'm saying, if I wasn't old, I might have let it slide.
You're not old. You're just seasoned. Okay.
Season. But to have her to look at me in my face and lie to me like that, it's like, how do I trust these doctors?
Yeah. And
You
that's
can't trust
insulting.
them anymore.
No, you can't. You can't. You can't.
So, what's on my mind is to try to speak up for my older seniors
Yep.
that will not be right up front with them and right looking them dead in their eyes, to try to get some respect on our age. They
Yeah.
think they think because they have a degree and papers that they can tell us and we'll listen and we'll do what you want us to do, but that's not the case. Who wants to take a medication that you're trying to alleviate anything that has the C word
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and
Yeah.
then come to tell me, oh no, it's not that, and then you get the prescription home? I will not let this doctor touch me. I will not go back to this doctor. And I think that I will have a conversation with her
Right.
and
Right.
let her know what I found out and why did she look me in my face and lie to me like that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
want it to be known. I want it to be known.
yeah. Well, this is the show that you can get it known. I mean, this is the show that, and I want more seniors like you to reach out and call here at today's senior living, because we need as many seniors to call in and talk to us about their experience at the hospital. I mean, especially after your primary. I had my eye doctor told me that, well, Mr. Foster, you don't need cataract surgery, but you need to start planning for it. You're all right, but they're going to start planning for your surgery in another month. I thought you said I was all right. Why are you going to be talking about the schedule? So I think they take advantage of us, and it truly, you was being hoodwinked and bamboozled, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to know the side effects
Yeah,
of this medication and believing and looking at her and in her eyes and talking with her and putting my life in her hands.
this is
And
this
she
is
lies to me. So, how can you trust a doctor like that? And how many more doctors
a lot of them.
are doing our seniors and our people? I don't know. I'm not going to call a race card because I don't think that was it. I think it was, if you're older, they will try to get over on you
Yep, they
just
do.
so that they can get that paycheck.
They do. Let me tell you one thing. Latoya's mother would still be here today if it wasn't for an irresponsible caretaker at a nursing home that just wouldn't change her diaper. Just wouldn't change her diaper
Jesus.
to keep her, from getting an infection, and as a result, she got an infection, and that infection stayed so long. They didn't come and they wouldn't look at her for 12 hours. I mean, you know,
That's, mm.
and as a result, she had a heart attack.
Wow.
Now, come on now. Come on. Come on. I mean, I don't want to call out the nursing home, but it was a caretaker. It was caretakers at the nursing home that was providing a service that, they're lazy. They're lazy. They don't want to come and do what they don't want to do the job.
You have to love what you do.
Yeah, it's a label of love, So, I mean, so when I go to the doctors and when I have to go to the hospital, I'm watching everybody, okay? And I can imagine what you felt, because you felt like you were bamboozled, you were lied to, tricked,
Yes, yes.
So that,
And that woke me up, and it made me think about the patients that are older than I.
yeah, and that's
They
in the
can't.
hospital.
Yeah, they can't talk up and
Right.
say, I don't trust you. But
Yeah,
I will go back to her and tell her how I feel.
yeah, Yeah.
I surely will, and take her the documents that state that this particular prescription caused cancer.
Yep. It does.
You have no error to make. You have no way of making an error when you're a doctor. You have to be on your P's and Q's.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes, though, but you shouldn't tell me something that you're not sure of.
But when I go to my doctor, he always check me out, and if he sees anything that makes think he's going to tell me I'm going to have to write you a prescription for some medication. I mean, you think they're getting kickbacks on these prescriptions?
No doubt, no doubt. I do believe that.
Yep.
Because I'm not the type of person that takes a lot of prescriptions. And you cannot tell me about my body because I'm the one that's living in this body.
Absolutely. I can.
So
I
you
couldn't agree
can't
with
you
more.
can't keep giving me all these prescriptions. Next thing you know, you got 7 or 8 prescriptions to take in one day. That is crazy.
Yep.
I watched my father go through that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that will never happen to me. Never. I will never take that many prescriptions. I must say I do take one. But you cannot get me to take all those prescriptions like that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Also,
Well,
make sure
Mr.
you
Foster, I
talk to your
missed you
pharmacist
last.
too, man.
I missed you last Saturday on WOL.
Well, let me say this. You ain't going to miss me too much longer. I mean, I had some issues that I had to resolve, but I'll be back, okay? But you can always check me at WOL 1450 AM from 2 until 4 every Saturday, okay? So I'm apologizing to all of my listeners out there who was looking for me to be on WOL and I wasn't there. So I am
Okay.
not going to disappoint, okay? So keep on listening.
Okay.
Keep on listening to today's Senior Living, and we're going to make it happen, okay? But I want more seniors calling here on that at 202-810-2663. Call me. We got a mic here for you. And tell us what's on your mind. Again, thank you, caller, for calling in. We appreciate your time and hope that you will come back again, okay?
All right.
All right. Well, George, we've had a pretty good day today, okay?
I think so. A lot of great conversation today.
Yeah, we did.
Great conversation.
We did, George. So, but I don't want to leave my listeners today without saying how glad I am for them tuning in, even if they're out there and don't want to call or got a reason that they don't want to call. But you can always call us here at 202-810-2663. So how much more time we got, George?
I think we out of time for today, man.
All right, George. Well, we thank you all for listening to today's Senior Living and hope you're back here next week from 7 until 8 at today's Senior Living. And as we say always, stay strong, stay healthy, and by all means, today's Senior Living will be here for you when you need us. And we'll say good night and God bless.